Hey folks, welcome back. I'm David Hubbell, and it is the 8th week of the 2024 fall Mirliton season. And I've got your weekly update of how my vine is doing in my backyard in Mobile, Alabama. The prognosis looks a little bit better than it has for the last 6 weeks. If you recall, did a little experiment last week where I cut the light off, the little floodlight that I've got in the back there, and we just decided we'll see what's happening. It's been a little over a week since we shut that light off, so now we're going to go see the impact it had on our vine out in the backyard. So let's go check it out. Oh yeah, before we head out there, thank you again to everyone who has liked and subscribed to the David J. Hubbell YouTube channel. All right, we're back, and it's the 8th week of the fall 2024 Mirliton season here in West Mobile, along the Gulf Coast here in Alabama. Just to kind of recap what we've been looking at for the last 8 weeks. You know, when we started out, had a lot more foliage, but it was kind of looking on the pale side, in my opinion. But I think we're back to some nice greenery. We had a little battle with some insects, I think caterpillars primarily, and those have seemed to have gone by the wayside thanks to the BT regiment. I think the greening may be a little bit of due to the maybe hitting it sporadically with a little miracle grow, because as those who are watching in the future, this is another hot, dry summer with not a lot of rain. So the last couple of weeks has really been just kind of trying to nurse it back and see if we can get anything to come back from a standpoint of the damage that's been done. We are basically the last weekend in October. By now I should be picking plenty of Mirliton, but I have yet to pick nor see any fertilized fruit. So last month has been a battle of lack of flowers. And I think what we've basically concluded, or I've concluded with the kind of the help of Dr. Hill, is that, you know, some of it's due to the lack of water, which I've tried to compensate for by watering at least every 3 days or so now, maybe every 4. But then I think the other problem I was having was due to this floodlight that I have going here. Every evening it shines brightly, and the light is probably a good 60 foot away from this Mirliton. So what I did last 10 days or so is I shut that light off at night. And happy to see that I actually think it's helping, because the buds I've had for so many months, I'm starting to see the flowers to really kind of go. Now, the other day these had really opened up, but you know, they're kind of short-lived. You can kind of see there's one or maybe one there that's opened up. There's one that's opened up, and you can maybe see these have opened up. So throughout the course of the week, they've actually had quite a few more than what I'm seeing now. So it's encouraging, and I think that means I'm on the right path. Let's see, there's another female. So I've got flowers coming in now. I always hand pollinate these first several because I think it helps. But I have noticed, despite the lack of flowers, a good supply of bees. So we'll look around a little bit more, see if we discover anything else, and come up with this week's game plan. It's a nice female right there. Hopefully you're able to see that. The male flowers are out here on the back end. Those are starting to come up. This back end, I'm not really seeing a whole lot of buds or flowering, just still some decent growth. You still see that there are a lot of clusters still. So that is good. and I'm still seeing a lot of new clusters about. So I feel confident that if Mother Nature will cooperate from a cold front standpoint and not really accelerate any type of cold weather, that maybe I'll have enough time to produce. I want to be cautiously optimistic. I mean, at the rate things are going, I hate to even say anything beyond 3, but given the fact that there's a lot of buds, and I'll try to keep this regime up as best I can. Plus, see, I got new growth. If I can get a dozen, that will be a very great yield for this year. Typically on a Mirliton vine, especially as old as this one is, you can expect to get over 100, and I have in years past, but not the last 2 years. So by this time I'd been picking them, I think, fairly regular, maybe say 3 or 4 at a time. So hopefully they'll rebound. I think I'm on the right path now to success. Got all my components. The forecast looks to be still low, maybe early upper 50s, low 60s, and low 80s for this next week here along the Gulf Coast, and no rain. So we'll just keep up with the same game plan I've been going with. Again, keep the lights dim and water it, and probably not apply anything else, because I think flower-wise it's doing well. So and you got these little insects around here, so hopefully they're finding the pollen and going back and forth. Of course, you do see the stink bugs that are coming up, but without fruit there's not a lot of issue. But if these can really come on this week and the males come on, this might be the week to really get things started. And if that's the case, if I end up with some good pollination over this next week or two, I should be feasibly could have them ready by Thanksgiving. Like I said, my little rule of thumb is I'd always try to save the first 3 fruits, so to speak, to make sure that they can sprout and that I'll have supply for the following year. I didn't do that in the past, and I found myself come close to losing the vines. But if you do something like that, and then it's kind of a toss-up between making them available for everybody else and enjoying them to eat, because I haven't really had a chance to eat them as much because I've been making them available. Last year I didn't have any, thanks to Elizabeth Eubanks and in her community garden in Pensacola. We were able to get some Papa Sylvester out, so that worked out well for a number of people, especially up in north, or just north of Mobile County. But right now, just trying to get old Boudreaux Robert to get into the act and keep this one going here. Anyway, that's going to be the game plan this week. Mooch, there you are. Go protect the Mirliton. So there you go, folks. It looks like the experiment was a partial success. A lot of the buds I had seemed to suddenly bloom, so it's a good sign. I'm seeing more females now, trying to hand pollinate those with the males that I've gotten as well. Still not as abundant as it has been in the past, because we were probably in our, I think, almost like a 6 or 8 week drought right now. I mean, really no rain, so I'm having to supplement out there with the sprinkler. But other than that, it's looking okay. I mean, you know, like I said, the color's back, there's good growth. I think our temperature is going to be warm for quite a while here. So maybe if we get a little rain going and the flowering helps, as long as that temperature is up, the pollination still be good. So keep my fingers crossed, and maybe it'll be delayed, but even if it's a small crop, I'll take what I can get. Anyway, once again, thank you for everybody who's watching for the last few weeks. Hopefully you also checked out the recent stuffed Mirliton video I put out the other day. It was fun to make and a very good recipe. Anyway, if you got any questions about getting melitons or just growing melitons, you can leave them in the comment section below or send them to me at rpcajun2r@gmail.com. Also, you can find everything you need to know that we know of growing melitons along the Gulf Coast at mirliton.org, mirliton.org. The group founded by Dr. Hill. It's either online, and we got our own little website, or it's on Facebook. We've got a pretty thriving community going there. So anyway, please check it out. It's getting to be melliton time, and before you know it, Thanksgiving will be here and Christmas, and the people will be expecting to get those delicious melliton casseroles and soups and breads and pickles, you name it, on their table at the holiday time. So once again, check us out, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.